I'm asking for your vote on November 7th for another term. Learn more about me and my plans at jimthornton.org.
A vote for Jim Thornton is a vote for progress. Let's re-elect Jim Thornton for mayor of LaGrange.
And welcome. We're live at Johnny's Pizza here on the Parkway. I'm your host, Greg Hicks, along with tonight. We don't have head coach Tanner Glisson here, but we do have offensive lineman coach Philip Manning, along with the quarterback coach Paul Brewer, and we appreciate you guys being here tonight.
Good to be here.
I don't think Glisson really wanted to be here. I think I took a bath last week, but he didn't show up tonight. I don't know what his deal is.
He's working hard. He had his defensive coaches at the school, and they were working pretty hard. So
you guys you and I were talking the other night when we went up to Sandy Creek, and we was watching the. Philip, you went over to Chapel Hill, but Coach Brewer and I were talking about. I said, "How long do you stay at the offense?" He said, "We pretty much got our deal down, and we're out of there." And I said, "Why does it take the defense so long?" But I didn't really say that. I was just trying to put Coach on the spot, since I thought he might text me and say, "We're working. What are your guys doing?" But we're eating some Johnny's Pizza, baby. That's for sure. I'll tell you what. We went up, had an opportunity to go up Friday night. I know you went over to Chapel Hill, Coach Manning, and they were playing Whitewater. Tell us a little bit about what you saw at Whitewater. So we didn't play Friday night, guys. So if you're wondering why aren't we talking about Friday night's game, we were actually had a bye week, and I don't want to say we had an off week because you guys were working hard, but we had a chance to go scout some folks, and I wanted to tag along, and I took the opportunity to go to see Sandy Creek. But you went over to Chapel Hill. I understand they got a pretty good quarterback, left-handed guy.
Yes, sir. He's really athletic. He can make a lot of plays in and out of the pocket, so you got to be ready for that. Obviously, I'm more focused on the defensive side of the ball. They got a lot of athletes on that side of the ball, and we just got to play really sound football and do what we do.
What kind of field? Do they have a turf field up there or natural grass?
Yes, sir, it is turf.
Okay. It seems like everybody's got a turf field nowadays. I don't know, other than Bowden, that we've run across many grass fields in the last couple of years, Coach. What about you, Coach Brewer?
No, not too many. Most of them, I think, probably because of maintenance. I think folks have figured out they can maintain it a little bit easier in the long term when they go to turf.
Yeah, now if you see a guy on a zero turnout on a turf field, you got a problem.
That's right.
We need to have a chit-chat with that guy, don't we? But they say the coaches normally cut the grass. That wouldn't be the case now, would it?
We split. We've got a couple of coaches that Coach Dempsey, Coach Copeland, that do a great job with it. We'll jump on there and help them out when they need us to, but they've probably logged quite a few hours.
You talking about JC?
JC.
Man, I don't know if I trust him on lawnmower.
It's got to be reinforced, but he does a good job.
Chapel Hill, what kind of offense does Chapel Hill run, Coach Manning?
They run a little bit of spread, inside zone, option, tight football. They don't like to throw as much as we do, but they have some spread.
Defensively, I know you were up there watching both. So what kind of setup do they run defense on the defense side of the ball?
Actually, they gave Whitewater a different look than we were expecting, but they normally run a 3-4 defense.
Okay.
Walk that outside linebacker up as a fourth defensive lineman. So you got to be expecting everything.
Okay.
Right.
What do they put a lot of pressure? I mean, obviously we like to with the RPO, and really, as Coach said last week, really hadn't done a lot of that lately. It's just kind of out there ready to go. And so, but do you anticipate from an offensive lineman, Coach? Do you anticipate any kind of pressure coming from those guys?
Yes, sir. Well, I always try to anticipate the worst possible scenario, bring in 6 or 7 guys, and like I tell my guys every day, we got 5 guys, we block our 5 and let Crow do the rest of it. So.
All right. I tell you what, we're going to let the Coleman Vice and the rest of the crew do their thing as well. We're going to take a short break. You're listening to Troup High Coaches Corner. We're here live at Johnny's Pizza here on the Parkway, just across the mall. You guys come on out and join us. They're waiting to serve you now. We'll be right back.
Deciding to sell or buy a home is a big step. To make sure it's the step in the right direction, choose the person best qualified to handle your real estate needs. Joel and Rob Upchurch have been breaking sales records every year since 1997. They truly are the real estate leaders in West Georgia. So take a step in the right direction. Contact Joel or Rob Upchurch at RE/MAX Results because they are dedicated to results and converting transactions into relationships.
Calling all area coaches. Calling all area coaches, high school coaches, travel ball coaches, and more. Mud Creek Team Sales is now selling sporting goods like Wilson, DeMarini, Louisville Slugger, Rollins, and Russell for travel teams, football, baseball, basketball, soccer, and more. For more information, call Mud Creek Team Sales today at 706-884-5592. Call Coach Jeter or Greg Hicks. Calling all area coaches. Mud Creek Team Sales with all your sporting goods. Wilson, DeMarini, Louisville Slugger, Rollins, and Russell. Mud Creek Team Sales, a proud sponsor of today's game.
Here's Perry Prather, head pharmacist at Holmes Pharmacy.
All right, we have the flu shots in. We're going to start giving the flu shots out as of September 1 until we're through with the flu season. We have now the high dose in for 65 and older, and we're able to give flu shots to anyone 13 and older. And keep in mind, Coleman, that if any large group of people that has, 20 or more shots, if they want to give us a call, we'll be glad to set up a time to do the flu shots on site.
Locally owned. That's Holmes Pharmacy, Commerce Avenue on LaGrange and in Hamilton. When a football team ends up with 12 men on the field, it means somebody forgot to double check. And when you end up paying more for your car insurance than you need, it could also mean somebody forgot to double check. That's why State Farm will do a free discount double check by going through your policies to make sure you're getting all the discounts you deserve. Because those discounts mean big league savings. It pays to double check. Call your State Farm agent, Matt Orr, on the square in downtown LaGrange.
LaGrange Banking is growing. We've opened a new location in Columbus, and we've adopted a new name that reflects our community roots with an eye on the future. Welcome to Calumet Bank, offering personal and business banking services with the friendliness of neighbors. We work on your schedule, offering daytime business hours and a complete set of mobile apps. Day or night, we've got you covered. Calumet Bank, same great services from people you already know. Life is better at Calumet. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
At Wellstar West Georgia Medical Center, we believe teamwork makes all the difference in your health. We believe that skilled people can achieve higher standards and exceptional results. We believe in a game plan that's focused on patient safety and quality care. At Wellstar West Georgia Medical Center in LaGrange, we believe in life well lived. To learn more about award-winning healthcare, visit wellstar.org/WGMC.
Now back to the Coach's Corner, live at Johnny's New York South Pizza on Eagle 102.3, WLAG 96.9 FM, 1240 AM, and online at Eagle1023.com.
And welcome back to the Troup Coach's Corner. We're here live at Johnny's Pizza on Lafayette Parkway. I'm here with Coach Philip Manning, offensive line coach, along with Coach Paul Brewer, who is the quarterback's coach for the Troup High Tigers, along with Scott Lester. Scott has joined us here, and I think he sees himself on TV, and that's what he wants to do. He wants to come on and get on TV. I think that movie star that was here last week, he's trying to get that guy signed. Y'all already know that. We had a guy came in. He was telling us all about who he knew in Hollywood, and he was hobnobbing with Scott. And I told Jack Moment, I said, let's make sure we look good and get our makeup ready.
I could see Coach Manning, if he'd have been here with the movie guy, they ain't know, but look at the hair. I mean, he's got it.
Well, he's got a lot more than I've got, that's for sure.
Does a lot of work with it, too.
Scott Lester, we appreciate you guys having us out here each and every Monday night, and I know last week it was a Thursday night. What a crowd, and each week we've had more and more people show up, and it's just nice to see folks come in, they listen to the broadcast, and they kind of get involved, and I know you're about ready to do something, kind of get them more involved.
Yeah, we're going to draw for a $20 gift certificate. We normally have a drawing during each segment. Encourage everybody to come out and get not only get a chance to maybe win a gift card or whatever we have, come out and enjoy some good food.
Absolutely.
And a lot of good people out here. So, like I said, come out and support your local high schools. Come see the coaches. I know Coach G, my daughter a few weeks ago, was like, can you introduce me to Coach G? And I like, you go to Troup High.
Yeah. But Daddy, I've never spoke to him.
Exactly. So, I'm kind of a little rock star in my house.
There you go.
But anyway, it's been great, guys. We've really enjoyed it. So, Coach, if you want to draw, we'll see if we got a winner. We may have to draw a few times.
You want me, how many of these numbers?
This is the last three.
All right, we got 7, 4, 5.
Hey, 745. Come on now. I know you got it.
All right, 758.
There we
here.
go. Got a winner. Good job.
You knew
Coach.
he was going to get a free pizza out of this thing.
Well, look, guys, y'all.
Go ahead and sing for us now.
Well, guys, I've enjoyed it. We'll see
right.
y'all real soon at the next
we're-
game. So
Tell you what,
Looking
we're
forward
good
to
luck.
it. Yes,
we
sir.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
all right.
Well, getting back to the coach's corner, I'm your host, Greg Hicks. We're sitting here along with Coach Paul Brewer, the quarterback coach at Troup, and along with Philip Manning, the offensive line coach. You and let's talk a little bit about being an old offensive lineman. Sometimes they just don't get the credit. When we think about Montez setting records this year, it's nice to get his name in there, but you know what? A lot of that's happening, as you know, Coach Brewer, is because that offensive line is giving him protection. And last year, we saw some from the radio, and y'all saw from the booth. We're calling it live, and it's like we were stressful a few times, had a lot of pressure put on him. This year, it just seems a whole different ball game. You guys, I've watched your pad levels, your techniques, you're pulling off the ball good. It seems like everything is clicking for you a little bit better this year.
Yes, sir. One big thing I tell my guys every day is technique. I mean, it don't matter how big or small you are. If you have great technique, it only works out for you. And we just really emphasize that every day coming to work. We're not the best. We're not the most athletic group out there, but we got to work the hardest, and we got to be there. Just protecting Crow and protecting our running backs in the run game, and just doing all the little things right.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I look at the average size of your offensive line. You've got some pretty good-sized guys, with the exception of the center. Seth Adams, who's a senior, good guy. Watched him. He goes week after week against kids that are twice his size, it seems like. But he does a good job handling them. And then I look down, you've got J. Brody Messer, and then you've got Colby Harry, and you've got Hunter Bass, and you got Riley Bowles, and you got Gabe Hubbard, which – I shook Gabe's hand as a freshman. When he was a freshman, it's like, oh, my word, it swallowed my hand. And he's just as nice of a guy. And he looks like he's come around. He's a junior this year. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. This is actually his first year on the offensive side of the ball.
Okay.
Actually, he's a great kid. Works hard. All the kids are great. They all work hard, do everything I ask them to and more. Mm-hmm. And, that's all you can ask out of them.
The amazing part is we run a lot of stuff. When we sit down and start looking at what all we're running and what all we're able to scheme and the things that we do, we talked about it back during the spring. You can only run what you can protect.
Right.
And just to see where those guys have come from since April and May has been phenomenal, because and Montez will say the same thing. He's not going to do what he does if he doesn't know that he's going to be protected. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't have to, get quick feet back there, and he doesn't have to look out, behind him every time. He can just be confident, step up, and make the play. And that's because guys are blocking, and guys are catching, and guys are running, and it makes our job very easy.
Well, speaking of easy, Coleman and Eagle Sports makes our job easy. Sitting here every Monday night at Johnny's Pizza on Lafayette Parkway. I'm your host, Greg Hicks, along with Coach Paul Brewer and Philip Manning. You're listening to Tiger Coach's Corner, and we'll be right back after these messages.
Deciding to sell or buy a home is a big step. To make sure it's a step in the right direction, choose the person best qualified to handle your real estate needs. Joel and Rob Upchurch have been breaking sales records every year since 1997. They truly are the real estate leaders in West Georgia. So take a step in the right direction. Contact Joel or Rob Upchurch at RE/MAX Results, because they are dedicated to results and converting transactions into relationships.
Myrna Painting and Coatings Incorporated is currently looking for painters and painters helpers. You must have 5 years experience, pass a drug test, have a valid driver's license, complete a background check, and provide driving records. Starting pay from $12 to $15 per hour. For more information, call Myrna Painting and Coatings Incorporated at 706-883-8903. Myrna Painting is an equal opportunity employer.
There's a secret to beating injuries or ailments. Get the right team. Emory Southern Orthopedics, well-trained, experienced doctors, nurses, and staff are that team. These teammates listen and understand your specific condition and provide high-quality hometown care that will get you back into your game. For more information about Emory Southern Orthopedics team, visit www.southernorthopedics.com.
There's a storm coming. We may not know its path, but but your independent auto owner's insurance agent knows no matter what happens, we'll be there when you need us most. Strong through every storm. That's how it's been for our first 100 years, and how it will be for generations to come.
Mallory Agency at MalloryAgency.com. For all your insurance needs, it's the Mallory Agency.
Good food. Where do you find it? Because when you spend your hard-earned money, you want good food. So the place you'll find that good food is at Rogers Barbecue on New Franklin Road in LaGrange, where they only serve American-grown catfish, barbecue cooked to perfection, and with all the fixings to make it worth every penny. Rogers Barbecue is locally owned and run with care since 1945. Come eat with us Monday through Saturday from 11 to 9 or use our carry-out window. Rogers Barbecue, New Franklin Road, LaGrange.
LaGrange knows leadership when they see it. As mayor for 4 years, Jim Thornton has proven he's a leader who cares, who unites people, and who gets things done.
I'm Jim Thornton, and I'm running for re-election to keep bringing new jobs and businesses to our city, to maintain public safety, and to enhance the quality of life for all residents. I'm asking for your vote on November 7th for another term. Learn more about me and my plans at jimthornton.org.
A vote for Jim Thornton is a vote for progress. Let's re-elect Jim Thornton for mayor of LaGrange.
Now back to the Coach's Corner live at Johnny's New York Style Pizza on Eagle 102.3, WLAG 96.9 FM, 1240 AM, and online at eagle1023.com.
Hey, welcome back to Troup's Coach's Corner here. I'm your host, Greg Hicks, along with quarterback coach Paul Brewer and offensive line coach Philip Manning. And we've been talking about kind of the offensive unit because, I mean, you both you guys are on the offensive side of the ball, and things have changed a lot over the last 10, 15, 20 years at Troup High when we talk about setting passing records and the wideouts that we've got, the number of wideouts, the number of opportunities that Montez Crow has to throw the ball. And we talked, as we go into break, about the offensive linemen and what their situation is and how they're supposed to, their techniques and what have you, and you encourage them to come and play hard and work on their techniques every day. And which leads me into this. Coach G and I were talking Friday on the way up to Sandy Creek, and we just happened to have Jay Brody Messer was with us, and we were talking about the techniques of the linemen and pulling and knowing where the play goes. And Coach said, "Hey, Jay Brody, you really don't know where it's going to go. You just need to play your technique, and you don't need to get caught up in where the play's going and where Montez might be throwing it or handing off." And he acknowledged that. And you had something to say about that, Coach Manning, at the break. What do you encourage you guys to do as far as don't worry about where the ball's going?
Just do your job. I mean, if all five of us do our job, do your one singular job, we're all going to be right. I mean, Montez is always going to make you right. That's the goal.
Well, interesting. And then we were talking about Crow. We've just played back through last year, and he had as a junior had a really good year. And I've always felt, from a scouting standpoint or a recruiting standpoint, when your junior year it needs to be a good year to get that attention during your senior year. Not that we've got some late bloomers in high school football, and not just I'm talking about Troup, just high school football in general, and you'll have these college recruiters coming through, and they'll pick a senior out that all of a sudden just came out of nowhere, and that's good. But you really need to have a good junior year, and Montez had a good junior year. But what would you say, Coach Brewer, maybe some changes of what's different about Montez this year than maybe what you saw last year?
I don't know that the word so much would be different as it would be, he bought into day one that we taught that we were going to play the next play, regardless of the result that happened on the previous play, whether good or bad, whether we're throwing for 1,000 yards or not. The word was we're going to do what we think is right, and we're going to get out there and play. What we've been allowed to do, I know as a quarterback coach that every day that he shows up at the building, he wants to get better. Mm-hmm. And you can't without a doubt, he shows up first. He'll stay last every day that I ask him to, and the amount of time that he's been willing to put in has allowed us to do these things that we want to do. Mm-hmm. I trust him. We trust him as a coaching staff to do well. And mistakes are going to happen. He's a kid. He's a high school player. He's growing up.
That's right.
We watch on Saturday college football players do the same thing. But we move on, and we go to the next play, and we continue. But what he's done, and not so much have changed, is he's continued to work and continue to progress to where, as coaches, we kind of sit back and go, hey, let's don't limit this to let's expand because this kid can do this, and let's trust him because he can do it. And he's, most quarterbacks start out as prodigy type kids. They start out as, whether 5th grade, 6th grade, even younger than that, working at it. And he really got his first taste of really being able to sling it around the yard last year, which is a late bloomer for high school. It just is for guys that are throwing it. And just the amount of work, just the adaptations to what we were teaching him that he was willing to make. Not all kids do that.
Right.
So that's the credit to him for just keep working. He didn't change. He's still been the kid that shows up and does what we ask him to do. We've just asked him to do more.
Even as adults, sometimes, guys, we tend to struggle when we make mistakes, and he has a way of just kind of letting it roll off his back and just, all right, next play, like you said.
That's it.
You know what? It's in the past. Let's move forward and don't worry about what just happened. Just move on. And we've seen some positive things out of that this year. I'm excited for the whole offensive unit, and I know for you guys, coaching staff wise, it's been real fun watching the first 4 football games so far before we head into region play. I'm glad we had a bye week, not an off week, Coach, if you're listening. But we're excited about coming into Friday night's game. It's going to be an away game up at Chapel Hill, and then coming home in 2 weeks for the Sandy Creek Patriots. And, of course, all you got to do is mention Sandy Creek. And enough said, people, they've got enough history up there that they know what people know what you're talking about. With that, we're going to take another break. You're listening to Troup Coach's Corner here live from Johnny's Pizza. You guys come on out. They're still dishing out the calzones tonight, so come on out. We're here live on Eagle Sports. We'll be right back.
Deciding to sell or buy a home is a big step. To make sure it's a step in the right direction, choose the person best qualified to handle your real estate needs. Joel and Rob Upchurch have been breaking sales records every year since 1997. They truly are the real estate leaders in West Georgia. To take a step in the right direction, contact Joel or Rob Upchurch at RE/MAX Results because they are dedicated to results and converting transactions into relationships. Here's Perry Prather, head pharmacist at Holmes Pharmacy.
All right, we have the flu shots in. We're going to start giving the flu shots out as of September 1 until we're through with the flu season. We have now the high dose in for 65 and older, and we're able to give flu shots to anyone 13 and older. And keep in mind, Coleman, that if any large group of people that have 20 or more shots, if they want to give us a call, we'll be glad to set up a time to do the flu shots on site.
Locally owned. That's Holmes Pharmacy, Commerce Avenue in LaGrange and in Hamilton.
Sarah, are you okay?
Yes, I can't believe you found me. I have car trouble, and there you are.
Yeah, that's State Farm's 24/7 access.
It's like we have this mental telepathy,
Well, you did start filing your claim with your mobile device. You can access State Farm on your phone, online, even in person at one of the 18,000 neighborhood
State Farm offices. See, mental telepathy.
State Farm is there for you anytime, anywhere. Get to a better state. State Farm.
Connect telepathically with Agent Matt Orr on the square in downtown LaGrange.
LaGrange Banking is growing. We've opened a new location in Columbus, and we've adopted a new name that reflects our community roots with an eye on the future. Welcome to Calumet Bank, offering personal and business banking services with the friendliness of neighbors. We work on your schedule, offering daytime business hours and a complete set of mobile apps. Day or night, we've got you covered. Calumet Bank, same rate services from people you already know. Life is better at Calumet. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
At Wellstar West Georgia Medical Center, we believe teamwork makes all the difference in your health. We believe that skilled people can achieve higher standards and exceptional results. We believe in a game plan that's focused on patient safety and quality care. At Wellstar West Georgia Medical Center in LaGrange, we believe in life well lived. To learn more about award-winning healthcare, visit wellstar.org/WGMC.
Now back to the Coach's Corner live with Johnny.
Here we go.
1023 WLAG 96.9 FM, 1240 AM, and online at Eagle1023.com.
Hey, welcome back to Troop High Coach's Corner. We're live here at Johnny's Pizza. Man, we've had a good crowd here tonight, all night long. It's nice to see Scott Lester being able to give away $20 gift certificates during each coach's session. It kind of keeps a listening audience involved, and hey, for $20, it'll for the most part pay for most everybody's meal.
Yeah.
You can't hardly beat that. And they've been a supporter of all the local football programs, and by doing it this year, and it's been a lot of fun so far, Coleman. I know this is you guys' first time being out to the radio show, I believe, here at Johnny's.
Yep.
But it kind of makes you want to come on back and get some of that pizza and calzones next Monday night. So with that, we had a bye week, and we went up to see Sandy Creek and kind of look at what they had. But that's in 2 weeks, and of course, Coach Manny, we were talking about Chapel Hill. We're going to ride up to Chapel Hill, up in Douglasville, and we're going to play Chapel Hill. I remember last year it was a pretty tough game. They had a quarterback. I guess he graduated last year. It was pretty tough. This year, I understand he's a lefty, and he loves to roll to his left side and throw with his strength. And obviously, we've got to do something with that. But what do you, as far as a crowd standpoint, from a home standpoint, what did they have the other night as far as their crowd goes?
They had a pretty good crowd. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a hostile environment we're going into. I mean, it's going to be a lot of fun to play in, be in that type of atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you look forward to as a high school football player. You look to play in those big games in front of those big crowds.
Well, it'll be our first region contest as we go up to Chapel Hill. And so, we talked about we've had our 4 non-region contests, had a bye week, but this is what we call the second season. It's ready to go. We've got to get involved in region contests, and we've got to set the tone early. From an offensive standpoint, how do you project? Do anything differently? You're just going to come out and play your game, Coach Brewer?
You come out and play your game. I mean, you sit down and scheme. You probably, when you get into region play, you're going to scheme a little bit around their physical capabilities instead of so much around what position they're playing right now, because now that you get to everybody in the state, first region game is the most important game of the year. I mean, It really doesn't matter what you did and how you schemed the first 4 games. You'll play to what you see physically, and then you have enough in your package to make adjustments because, they're probably anybody does. I mean, you may have something you go to because now that you really know, you think you know what the other team's really about, you kind of make this is when you're going to see people make adjustments. It's kind of fun. It's when it's fun to go coach.
Well, I'm excited. Coach Manning, real quickly, injury report, everybody pretty healthy on the offensive side. I know Kenley Bridwell's kind of getting back to full strength. He looking good this week?
Yes, sir. He looks really good. Just making sure everything's in line to go Friday night.
Good. Well, we're going to hit on Sandy Creek just for a second. Coach Brewer, we went up. We're going to wrap this up, but I know we had a chance to go up and see them. Your impression of what they're doing.
And we'll preface it real quick by saying, obviously, Friday night's the most important thing we're going to do. But we went up and saw them, and it's Sandy Creek. I mean, everybody's seen them for 10, 15 years. They've got kids that look like college football players all over the field. I mean, their size, both of their lines look like junior college, Division II type, some Division I type. Just, they look like dudes.
Big
they've got fast kids. They've got big kids. I mean, that's, you got to go play them. It's a 4-quarter game. They're going to bring it in the region. They ran into a tough team the other night, but who doesn't from time to time? But you just know they look like a team.
Well, speaking of looking like a team, you guys, Troup fans, get together. Come on up to Chapel Hill this Friday night, our first region game. You've traveled well for us so far. We expect you to do it again. Matter of fact, we look forward to seeing each and every one of you Friday night at Chapel Hill. And we'll be back next Monday night, 8:30 here live in Johnny's Pizza to talk about this Friday's ball game. With that, I'm your host, Greg Hicks, along with Coach Philip Manning tonight and Coach Paul Brewer. And you're listening to Troup Coach's Corner. We'll see you guys next week.
Deciding to sell or buy a home is a big step. To make sure it's the step in the right direction,